Welcome back, my viewers and subscribers. In this video, we're going to talk about, are we slowly seeing the unfolding of the Antichrist or the new world order, as many people would classify this? Because I was looking at King Charles going to Australia, and the Australian premiers have all openly disrespected him. Like, there's a banquet that Charles is going to attend. The premier should show up at the banquet to meet him, but majority of them, they have declined. Maybe so far, the last time I checked, there was only one premier who had agreed to attend the banquet. Like, some of them are giving excuse like, I have to work on my political campaign. I have to do this. I have to do that. No, when I look further into this, I'm seeing countries worldwide that want to separate themselves from the monarchies worldwide. Now, if you really look into it from a logical perspective, these people know no other life than to control territories. And as such, I believe that we're going to see a dismantling of the monarchy worldwide. And after this dismantling is complete, and I do believe that the one world order is currently being planned. I believe they're having these meetings to really trick people into this. I believe that they're going to do this, false promise of global harmony, prosperity, more wages, less hard labor. And I believe it is going to be so, the offer is going to look so good that people are not going to see the trick behind it. So I've done some research to see how much I can share with you guys, because I've asked, a few of you guys if you'd like to hear about it. Some of you responded no. As I've said, I was researching the monarchy, and during my research on the British monarchy, I've noticed a recurring theme. Many countries seek independence from England's constitutional oversight, and not just England. Monarchies worldwide. People want to dismantle that old system. People believe that it is time to move forward, move in a more positive, independent direction. No. This trend signals potential turmoil for the monarchy's continued relevance. Historically, the British monarchy has played a significant role in global politics. However, the growing desires for autonomy among nations could pave the way for a dramatic shift in global governance. Some speculate that this movement towards independence might ultimately contribute to the rise of a single unified world order. This concept, often referred to as the New World Order, implies a centralized authority surpassing national sovereignty. So, theoretically, world leaders could leverage this desire for unity to deceive people into embracing a false promise of global harmony and prosperity. By disguising the true intentions behind this unified order, leaders might manipulate public opinion, masking potential risk and restrictions. No. As I've said, this research started by me looking into Australia, because Australia is debating republicanism since 1999 referendum. Canada, Quebec separatist movement, and Republican sentiments. We have Jamaica considering constitutional reform and potentially monarchy abolition. And it's going to be abolished in Jamaica. That's one thing I can tell you. No, New Zealand. You wouldn't even believe ongoing discussions about becoming a republic. South Africa, post-apartheid constitutional reform. And we have India with Republican movements and debates, which means that all of these countries, they're going to break away from the monarchy. And this is going to happen in the next maybe 2 to 3 years. So I believe in the next 4 to 5 years, we may see the coming of the Antichrist. No, we have even scriptures in our Bible that warns us about this. For example, we have 1 John chapter 2, verses 18 to 22. It warns about the Antichrist deception. And that's when they're going to tell you all the benefits and, the better pay and the less hard labor, better school, better educational system. We have Revelations 13, chapter 13, verses 1 to 18. It tells you the Antichrist rise to power after they were able to trick people. We also have Daniel chapter 7, verse 7 to 8. We have verse 24 to 26. It has the prophecies regarding the Antichrist rules. It tells you about how they disguise their true intentions. And it's going to be all for their own personal benefit, their own personal gain. So it's as though we're going to be pushed back into a revised kind of slavery system. You're going to still have to give these people money. You're going to still have to abide by their rule. And it's going to be really, really hard for a lot of people to endure. No, we have 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 3 to 4. It talks about the Antichrist opposition to God. And if you really pay close attention to what is going on now, remember, we have so many people telling us that there's a war going on, a war of good versus evil. Remember that we have been, looking at what has been going on in Hollywood, the things that have been exposed and how they carry out these reverse baptism. Whenever a celebrity of Christian faith has passed, they will commit these rituals of reverse baptism. So you can look into this Antichrist, opposition to God as the people who are already trying to trick us, the people who are already trying to rob us of our subconsciousness. Some of those very same people are in Hollywood, right? Because again, if you're paying attention, we've heard the numerous stories. Even Sloan Belly has shared how these people manipulate our energy. And if we remember, the Bible tells us that the only thing that the devil won't be able to do is to blow breath, right? So, moving on. There's another chapter in the Bible that talks about this. Revelation 16, chapter 16, verses 13 to 16. It talks about the Antichrist's role in global conflict, because what it's saying is that many people are going to have the spirit of discernment to see that this is a trick. Do not fall for it. And there will be people who will be bold and unapologetic about, their belief in Christ. People are going to say it's a trick. People are going to encourage others not to fall for it. There's going to be a group of people that will argue the benefit. Many people argue and say this is going to be a better system, but some of us will clearly see the trick. And as such, it's going to cause a lot of conflict. There'll be people that will be selling out, just like what happened during slavery, right? No. What is the new world order about? Well, it is about global governance and centralized authority. It's about economic unity and potential loss of national sovereignty. So there's no longer going to be an Australian flag, a Jamaican flag, an American flag, a Canadian flag. It's just going to be one flag for the entire world. And at that point, you're going to be like a tree without root. You've completely lost your identity. Everything that you and your ancestors have fought for, it will be just taken away from you. And they're going to try to suppress, you teaching, certain things to your children's children. So that's what they're talking about, the global governance, right? No. There's going to be international cooperation and conflict resolution, because they're going to pray. All right. So the head of this chain, what they're going to do is to prey on the current world leaders' emotion. So like the presidents, the prime ministers, and all of that, they're going to you will still, get to govern your country. But the truth is they're not governing their country. They're being, told what to do, what plans to carry out, what to implement and what not to implement. So they will have absolutely no control. They'll be just like puppets, right? No. Yes, there's going to be technological advancements and surveillance because they're going to want to spy on people to see who is ganging up, who is, plotting a meeting to take down their system, to take down their, current, slavery system, basically. So they're going to want to have, and that is why they talk about microchip. But I believe that the New World Order, it's going to be something completely different than what we can ever imagine, because they're going to be so good at it that many people are not going to see this coming. So as such, they're going to develop, technology. It's not going to be robots. If you really think about it, technology is good, but it's not going to be that good to the point where they're going to have robots to come into your home, kick down your door, and all of that. I mean, these robots, they're going to crash and burn, and they're going to realize that it's not feasible. But they're going to have other technologies, like the camera system is going to be better. They're going to be able to record what you're saying even from a distance like that. That's going to improve. They're going to have different forms of technology wherein they can really track you. And, remember, with every new system, because if you guys remember, with the beginning of slavery, there was always some leaders fighting against that. And with the abolition, remember that there were also leaders that led in those rebellions. So they're going to anticipate this, and they're going to have strategies in place how to really curtail these people and these situations. No. Many people may say this is not going to happen, but if you really look into the point of the British monarchy's decline in influence, and again, not just the British monarchy, if you look into the rising nationalism and the desire for independence worldwide, people are waking up, people are opening their eyes, and as such, they cannot allow for us to be such free thinkers. So what they're doing is to basically, they're going to trick us back into a system because they cannot afford not to hijack us. They cannot afford not to trick us, not to use us as their slave. So they're going to show us, they're going to trick us into believing that, listen, we're tired of this war. We're tired of, Israel and Palestine going at each other. Let's be all brothers and sisters. Let's unite. One world order, one people. And it's going to sound so good that, you won't be able to see the deception and the manipulation. But as I've said, there will be people with discerning spirit. There will be people who will be, searching the pages of the Bible, using references and speaking out, on each corner. And these people, we're going to hear of these people just going missing. My mom actually told me about this. My mom told me, I remember like at night we would have our Bible studies, and she would tell us that in case she's not around, how to look for the Antichrist, the beginning of the Antichrist. And she outlined these things to us. And she says, once you realize that people who speak out a lot against the government, the system, those people start going missing, and there's a new flag, and that's the only flag. And they may change the currency where, it's just one currency. And if you're not in line, you can't get a job, you can't get food. So that's how they're going to trick people. And as such, we're going to always have rebellious people preaching out against these things. They're going to tell you that, there's benefits in it. You're going to see international collaboration, environmental issues being, resolved. They're going to tell you about stability and development. They're going to have resolutions to a lot of things. And this is what will prove to us that these people have created a lot of the wars, a lot of separation unnecessarily worldwide. No. Again, as I've said, people are going to lose their cultural identity. Some people are not going to be bothered by that. So guys, it is coming. There are other people that are giving evidence that they're already having these meetings. They're already making the plan because they're going to think about covering every single corner. They want the plan to be as seamlessly as possible, where no malicious intent can be detected. So that's just my little analysis on the one world order coming, or what some would say the Antichrist. So it's your time to chime in. Be sure to leave a comment below. It is very free to do so. And also remember to thumbs up, subscribe, stay safe now, guys. Stay blessed, and see you all later. Bye, guys.